Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips Podcast. This is episode number 32. Our episode number 32 will be dealing with the topic setting up a new Amazon Echo. But before we get into that content in detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and is also made possible in part by a grant from the Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. We're also made possible and very grateful to WVTF for use of their studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training for individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes only. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Hello, I'm David Ward, an assistive technology instructor, and as we outlined earlier, our topic today is going to be setting up a new Amazon Echo. So you might think that we're several episodes in now and we're kind of talking about that topic, but it has changed over the last couple of years, how you set up an Amazon Echo, or depending on the device you have, and so we thought it might be a good idea to discuss that today. Alright, so before I get started into our topic, it'd be good for us to press the microphone button on the top of your Amazon Echo, especially if that's the device you're listening to this podcast on. Alright, and that way, when we're describing some of the things you would do, we don't have your Echo responding out of turn or interrupting the podcast if this is the device you're listening it to. So you might notice your device on the top has a little button with a microphone silhouetted on it with a slash through it. You'll want to press that, and if it's on a traditional Echo, the ring on the top will turn a red and you'll hear a thump sound. That means her ears are shut off and she won't try and respond when we say the A-Lady name here in a little bit. Or if you have one with a screen on it, if you press that button on the far top left, it'll put a red bar across the bottom. That means her ears are shut off. So I'll just give you a moment to do that, and then we'll get started right into our discussion. Okie dokie. Alright, so let's get started. So if you're setting up a new device, first we need to start with the basics. You need to have an Amazon account. Now if you've ever bought anything on Amazon, a Kindle book, anything like that, you probably have set up an Amazon account. You would have by nature had to set up an Amazon account. But if you don't, you can do that very easily, both in the app on a mobile device, or you can do it through the website. It's dirt simple. You can go to alexa.amazon.com. At the bottom there of the login thing, it says create an account, and this is super easy. All they need is a name, an email, and a password that you're going to use for that account. Be sure not to lose that password, and be sure that the email account you're using is one you have control of and access to. In other words, if you don't know how to get into that email account, don't set that as your email account. You'd be kind of black holing yourself if you had no way to recover this Amazon account, because they would set a reset to your email address. So, just those three pieces of information: your name, an email account you have access to and control of, and a password that you want to use for your Amazon account. Doesn't require a credit card or anything like that. Now, for most of you, that's probably going to be a mute thing. If you've already got an Amazon account set up, then we'll move on to connecting a new device. So, if it is a device, an Amazon Echo, that has a screen, such as the Echo Show or the Echo Spot, either one of those devices, out of the box, you can plug them into the wall, and they have a touchscreen interface. You can just follow the steps on the screen, and that's all there is. You don't need a tablet, you don't need a smartphone, you don't need a computer. You can just do it all right there. And so you basically would log in with your Amazon credentials that we just described earlier, or conversely, I believe on those devices you could create a new account. Just be careful that you're typing in the password just the way that you know it is. And that's it. And of course, it's going to connect to Wi-Fi, and you'll need to type in that password as well. Okay, so all of that can be done on the screen of the device without any other second device needed if you have one with a screen. All right, let's move over now to the ones that don't have a screen, which is your traditional Echoes, the Pringle Can model, or the second generation model of that, or the Amazon Echo Dot, or the Tap, any of those other devices. You're going to need to follow this procedure. So, in those cases, you're going to need one of two things. You're going to either need to use the app, the Amazon Alexa app. Make sure it's the official app released by Amazon. If you have any doubts, go to Amazon.com and consult that, or Google it, and make sure it's from a legitimate site like Amazon that talks about what type of app you need. Now, on mobile devices, so that would be a smartphone, a tablet, there is an Amazon Alexa app for iOS, which is Apple devices, or Android devices, which could be any of a number of companies that make those: Samsung phone, Samsung tablet. If you bought a Fire tablet from Amazon, well, then you could use that and install the Amazon Alexa app. Okay? Now, any one of those would work. Alternatively, this is brand new. If you have a computer, a PC running Windows 10, you can install the app in the Windows 10 using the Microsoft Store or App Store on the Windows 10 device. And I would imagine the interface there is going to be pretty much identical to the tablets or smartphones. And then the last option there is if you're using a PC or a computer or even a Macintosh, you can use the website. You can always use the website, and since I do this in volume, I usually use the website. So that would be alexa.amazon.com, and that's another mechanism you could use. Okay? All right, so that would be super, super easy. Now, if you are looking for the app, you can open up the browser on any of those mobile devices and go to alexa.amazon.com, and I think it will force you to go to the App Store. And that's another easy way to find the app as well. Okay, so once you have either the app on a mobile device or on your Windows 10 computer, or you decide to use the website on a computer, even a Macintosh computer, you're going to follow pretty much very similar steps. But there's two layers of this. So one, you may not know it, but you might already have a device. So if you had got a Fire tablet or you had got a Fire TV stick, that will be classified as a device. In which case, the interface will come up differently. It'll come up as if you've already set up an Alexa or a similar device. In this case, it's a similar device. So in that case, on the app, you would tap the menu button in the top left corner, whether you're on a tablet or a smartphone, and you would go and a menu will slide out and you would tap on Settings. And the next page that comes up, you'll see Devices. Now in this case, you'll see either you have Fire tablet or a Fire TV stick, but now you're wanting to set up an Echo, so you'll need to tap on the button that says Add a Device. Follow those steps step by step, and it will outline what you need to do. Now if you plugged up a brand new Echo out of the box, a Dot or whatever, it will automatically go into setup mode with the ring spinning on the top. It will announce that verbally, and so you're pretty much good to go. But any additional steps you might need to take physically with the device, it will outline in those steps after you've tapped on Add a Device. Okay? So that's one option. Now, if you've never had any kind of device, Fire tablet or Fire TV stick, and this will probably be the case for most of you, then it's going to treat you as a brand new customer to Amazon devices. And if that's the case, well, then you're going to just be taken to a brand new page. It's going to ask for you to agree to some legal stuff, It's going to ask you what language you're speaking. It's going to ask you what kind of device you have. Is it an Echo? Is it an Echo Dot? Is it an Echo Tap? It's going to ask you those particular questions. You just follow those step by step. If you're using either the app on a tablet or smartphone, or if you're using the website, alexa.amazon.com. Either way, it's not going to really make any kind of demarcation. It's going to be the same. All right. Now I'll just add one extra note. So just remember, if it's a brand new Echo, you want that ring spinning on the top, and it's going to announce that it's in setup mode. If for some reason it's not in that mode, or it falls out of that mode. Well, you're going to want to take the button on the top that has a bump on it and a dot. It's called the action button. You'll want to hold that button down, and this is described in the instructions, but just an FYI. You'll hold that button down, and that will enter into setup mode. And, you hold it down for about 5-6 seconds. It'll go ding, and the ring will start spinning, and it'll say, I'm in setup mode. And that's all you need to do in that case. All right, so that's just kind of a brief overview of how to set up a new Amazon Echo, whether you're using a mobile device, a Windows 10 computer, or if you're just using the website mechanism, which could be from any computer, pretty much. All right, so there we go. Next time, in our next episode, we'll be talking about connecting, or I should say more importantly, reconnecting an Amazon Echo to Wi-Fi. For some reason, maybe your Echo gets bounced off the Wi-Fi, or your Wi-Fi password changes, or you're like a student here where we set it up and then you take it home. How do you reconnect to Wi-Fi? All right. Well, it's that time in our episode again to turn your microphone back on. Press that mute button on the top so her ears will be perked up and she'll be listening again. And I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, signing off, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.